She started off with, it's not like she had a teleprompter down there. She just rolled right. That's a lot of information. That's a heck of a job.
Number 20 for taunting, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 56 on the receiving team. Those penalties will offset. First down.
What goes together better than penalties and special teams play in the preseason, Trent?
Well, I just know you're enjoying the fact that we're still 6 minutes left in the third quarter here. I just know I can feel your energy about the pace of play. You know, the number of penalties and the fact that the Packers called 2 timeouts on bookends of one play. So I know where you're going with this. It's
game management. Trent.
Game management, exactly.
Vince Young still the quarterback here on first down and 10. And as we continue with the next quarter and a half, we're going to take a big picture look at what the Chiefs are up against here in the AFC West. And if you're talking AFC West, you've got to start at the top with the Denver Broncos. And this is a team that won 13 games a year ago, Trent. They were excellent. And the Chiefs don't play until later, November 17th and also December 1st. So the big news with Denver, the suspension of Von Miller, not going to matter a whole lot come those 2 games against Kansas City. But 13 wins a year ago, the addition of Wes Welker, team might be even a little bit better this year once they get Von Miller back.
Well, and I think that's important to remember that the Chiefs, you mentioned, the Chiefs don't play Denver until November and December. They play them twice in a 3-week span. I think the important thing to remember is part of the first moves that John Dorsey did as general manager was to go out and get Sean Smith from Miami as a free agent and get Dante Robinson. And that's a direct reflection of what's going on in Denver. They go out and get Wes Welker. They have Demaryius Thomas. They have Eric Decker. So you've got a 3-headed monster in a receiving core going on there in Denver, and you've got to have the secondary to cover those guys one-on-one. So I think that was a direct move based on what the Broncos did in the offseason, and I commend John Dorsey for recognizing that and attacking that aspect of his defense.
Third down and 7 now coming up here for Vince Young. Bring the pressure. Once again, had to throw it early, and it'll be the punt team coming on. We do have a penalty marker down after that pass fell incomplete. Tyson Hartman there with the coverage.
Well, and bring the pressure is exactly the next reason why you go get Sean Smith and Dante Robinson. Peyton Manning is not going to be a runaround guy. He wants to stand in the pocket. He's not a guy that generally gets sacked a lot because he gets rid of the ball quickly.
Unnecessary roughness, 31, defense, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
So with the addition of the secondary guys, now all of a sudden Justin Houston and Tom Bailey can come off the edge and get after Peyton Manning even more when that Denver game happens. And this is just poor decision on Tyson Hartman. He's a smart player. He's a guy that's made a lot of good decisions in the year and a half that he's been here. And that's just being overly aggressive when he doesn't have to be, giving Green Bay the first down and better field position.
Kansas City now 5 penalties for 40 yards. Back to the Denver conversation. I also think about when they face them, when the Chiefs face Denver in November and December. Eric Fisher going to need to be a veteran by then because you're going to have Von Miller coming off the edge and Sean Phillips, a veteran, 10-year veteran. Sacks in the 70s in his career with the San Diego Chargers. You're going to have pressure from both sides for Brandon Albert and also Eric Fisher to deal with.
Well, and that's going to be the important part of staying healthy, of Jamal Charles staying healthy, of Nile Davis developing as a young backup, establishing himself in the passing game as well as the running game. And, from an offensive standpoint, you have to be able to keep pace with a Peyton Manning. You have to be able to put points on the board. And as much as Sean Smith and Dante Robinson bring, and having Justin Houston, Tom Bailey, and Dontari Poe, and Derek Johnson, and everybody bringing pressure on Peyton Manning, he's not going to idly sit by and just accept the fact that he's got 10, 13, 17 points. They're going to need to find ways to keep the ball out of his hands, establish the running game, establish ball control with their offense when they're facing Denver, and ultimately when you have some chances at big plays, take advantage of it.
Number 3, Mike Catapano, the Ivy League Defensive Player of the Year out of Princeton. The big tackle there. He also had the tackle to cause the fumble a little bit earlier in the second half, which the Chiefs did recover. Second down 9 for Vince Young now as we approach the 3-minute mark, and Alex Green remains the tailback for the Packers. Vince Young hurried, and that pressure leads to the inaccuracy. Anthony Toribio inside. knocking Vince Young down.
You see Toribio and Poe, 95 coming right up the middle. On the backside, Toribio's putting pressure, causing Young to step up, but with Poe's penetration, that's Jarrell Poe, not Donchari Poe, putting that pressure up the middle. Ridge Wilson, also free agent out of West Alabama, number 60, coming in there and putting pressure on Young as well.
3rd down and 9, the Chiefs bring 3, and Vince Young puts the ball on the turf. Ridge Wilson knocks it out of Young's hands.
Back-to-back plays for the free agent out of West Alabama. Coming off that edge, and when Vince Young slides the step up in the pocket, he's able to knock the ball loose. Watch him here on the left side of your screen. He just dips and gets lower and is able to, once again for you young quarterbacks out there, Vince Young getting pressure in the pocket, goes to slide up. He takes that second hand off the ball. You have the ball in one hand. All it takes is one little flick, and that knocks the ball loose. So if you're feeling pressure, keep 2 hands on the ball and slide up in the pocket.
Packers eventually recover after that little scrum